we started strong with the ball. Let's move on to something with the bat now. And it's not just Gale Force wins, it's also some projectiles around.
Change the ball and have a nice, hard, shiny one, but not in T20 cricket. There it goes. Chris Gayle on top of the roof. Big Henry Gayle, the universe boss. He goes to 13,000 runs. What an absolute machine this man is. Right on top of the roof. He was pitched up again, back to back.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Nobody, because Chris Gayle is far and above the highest run scorers in T20 and reached his 13,000 runs with that clear six. Tom Moody, is Gayle the T20 GOAT?
Oh, I think without question. You only have to look at his numbers. The volume of runs he's got is so far ahead of anyone else in the game. The number of hundreds that he's scored is just outrageous. I think it's over 20 hundreds he scored in T20 cricket. To even score 100 in T20 cricket is an achievement in itself. But he is so far removed statistically than any other player in this format. It's you can liken it to Sir Donald Bradman, and that's why Bradman is sort of revered as he is in Test cricket, because where Bradman sits statistically against the rest, and the rest are all very fine players. You look at all the modern greats, Kohli, Joe Root, Williamson, Smith, they're all unbelievable players in their own right, but they're not even close to where Bradman's at, where Bradman's statistics are. They're averaging between 60 and 50. Bradman is an absolute whisker away from averaging 100 in Test cricket. So it's hard to get your head around the difference. But that's where Gayle sits. He sits that far ahead of anyone else with what he has produced in the game. At times, you nearly need to sort of sit back and really analyse it to appreciate and respect what he has done. It's been phenomenal.
Absolutely. Danny, Gale's role, of course, has changed over the last few years as he's grown older, and the body has taken its own time to recover. And would there be any changes in the way you reckon his use to T20 sides across the world would be, or has he been utilized to his maximum in the last couple of seasons?
Well, it is a hard one to gauge because of the creaky old limbs. Let's not forget too that he's very useful right arm off spinner. And again, you could probably say a little undervalued, and possibly again to do with his fitness. Could they have eked out a few more overs out of him? I mean, often he sometimes even, bowled in that power play, maybe even just kick things off with, get that over out the way, get one done of the 20, and then you could get into the game a bit more with your specialists. But I think now that you're right, Carter's, that he comes in at first drop. He's 42, I think, next month, for goodness sake. So he's clearly loved the game, and as Mood said, statistically outstanding. And what a nice treat to see him bring up that milestone. He was at home. He was there at Sabina Park in front of the loving fans of Jamaican and smashing it onto that roof, which I can tell you where that commentary box is. That's no mean feat. And having picked up that blade of his, you can see why the ball goes that far and how big Chris Gayle is. He monsters most people and has done for a long time.
Indeed, this was the 2019 season of the Hero CPL. Since then, Christopher Henry Gayle has now moved on to in excess of 14,000 runs. So clearly there's nothing slowing him down. So Tom Moody, what makes him this sort of beast of a player, this insatiable appetite that he has?
Well, I think you've got to love the game, firstly and foremostly. Everyone that has had the privilege to play the game at the top level clearly have an undying passion for the game. They've got a raging fire in their belly. And some of us, that time where that fire pitters out, comes earlier than others, and, there's not too many people that can play the game successfully at the top level without having that burning fire. So Chris Gayle has still obviously got a raging fire inside. So he's hungry to play the game. He loves the game. I think from a financial point of view, I don't think Chris Gayle, relies on the game to give him any further comfort in his life. He does it for the right reasons. He does it because he cares about the game and he loves the game. And having worked with him over the years, he actually cares about the players that are playing in the game. So he plays an important mentorship role as well amongst the younger players, with his guidance, which is invaluable from the game's perspective, but also from a coaching perspective to have senior players like that are happy and naturally just want to help mentor younger players. It's worth its weight in gold. So he's clearly got to be still hungry for it. He's not, to me, he doesn't come across as a player that's overly, fussed about records and all those types of things. He does it because he cares about the game, and that's the most important thing. And there will be that time, whether his body, says, hello, it's time to pack it in, or whether, he finally decides that, he's had enough and that fire has sort of come to a close.
Indeed, and let's not forget, we talk of him as the T20 journeyman, but let's not forget that he has in excess of 10,000 ODI runs, as well as 7,000 test runs and 2 triple centuries. So while some of us may have forgotten that a little bit, it's gone pushed to the background. Christopher Gayle as a batsman has been a force to reckon with for a long, long time. And this Rario Black moment would really be one that, I would definitely value if I could get my hands on. Great. 100%.